Hi guys, whoever's in charge of communications in the Labour government needs to be fired. Also, the political strategist who thought it'd be a good idea to means test the winter fuel allowance needs to be fired. Since its inception, I couldn't understand the economic or political motivation behind the changes to the allowance for pensioners. Yes, the public support the idea of rich people not getting a benefit that they don't need. However, the way this policy was rolled out, it has been a disaster from start to finish. The media, who cared nothing about pensioners dying from the cold last year, have jumped on this as a stick to beat Labour, and the optics have just got worse.
Just remind me, you supported pensioners having their 300 quid taken off them?
Yes, I voted for that.
Okay,
yes.
So did Liz Kendall, of course. And it's appeared over the weekend that the woman that is responsible for taking that money off 10 million pensioners is claiming up to £350 a month on energy bills for her second home.
Well, okay, I don't know if you worked away before, but like members of Parliament...
I've never asked the government to pay for my energy bills, and I've certainly never taken 300 quid off pensioners.
No, but your employer would meet the costs of living and staying away from home if you weren't... If
my
you needed to...
employer doesn't get their money off the tax, off tax of other people.
But again, anybody in any walk of life would expect that if they had to work away for home, the cost of doing that would be met. I, like Liz, all MPs...
Doesn't have to take the money. She's very wealthy. Well, certainly the family are very wealthy in their own right.
That's not something I would know about personally, but I can talk for myself in that I pay my energy bills at home as viewers do. When I work away, as viewers do, that's met by my employer. That's set independently by the independent Parliament.
Make you feel a little bit queasy, though, that pensioners are not getting that money?
No, we've been very clear that we want those pensioners who need it to access pension credit, and I know that lots of my constituents have been applying for it and doing so. Those who perhaps fall over the cliff edge can access the hardship support fund. You know, we were left a huge hole in the public's finances. We weren't expecting to be doing this at the outset, but it was the right decision taken for the nation and the nation's finances.
Based on your own figures, suggesting 100,000 pensioners might be forced into poverty because of this.
Well, again, I would say to anybody concerned about themselves or a loved one, apply for pension credit. And if you don't...
That's really easy for a pensioner in their 70s or 80s, isn't it? No, filling in loads of forms.
But again, having talked to pensioners in my constituency who've phoned the DWP, they've been given loads of support. So again, I wouldn't want people to get a message that it's too hard for them to do, because it's not. And the concern that comes to me a lot...
Well, no, but you're a middle-aged man of a certain age.
Okay, all right. Look... Kay Burley was being a bit disingenuous at the beginning when she said that, well, I wouldn't claim money off the taxpayer, well, because your employer is not the taxpayer. Liz Kendall's employer is the government, is the taxpayer, so she's entitled to claim this winter allowance to cover the cost of heating her home when she's not, in her second home. Now, the problem with all of this is the optics. It was put to the minister here, well, why doesn't she just not claim the benefit? But politicians generally don't do that. Ministers generally don't not claim benefits. They could decide, I'm not going to do it, but generally they claim as many benefits as they can. We're not going to get away from that. We've seen the Tories do it, and Labour ministers are going to do it as well. But the problem is not so much that, the problem is the optics. And it seems once again that whoever's in charge of communications in the Labour government doesn't understand that you have a media, both a right-wing media and organisations like Sky News, who are looking for something they can use against you. Now, this policy, as we can see, is an absolute disaster. There's no economic benefit, and there's certainly no political benefit, because the economic benefit, what you're doing is you're cutting a whole cohort out of this benefit, access to this benefit. But the money you're saving from that, you're likely to lose from convincing other people to take up the benefit. So where's the saving? What's the point? And also the threshold is so low that a lot of people who are still in poverty are going to be denied the benefit. And it was pointed out, well, what you can do is just try and claim the benefit. If you're concerned yourself or you're concerned about a loved one, reach out to the DWP, fill out about 20 pages of forms, and then the DWP will decide whether you reach the threshold or you meet the requirements. It would be cheaper if if the government were just to maintain this as a universal benefit. Because the money you're saving is going to be lost through people claiming it, and you're going to, by means testing it, you're going to have some people fall through the gaps. Now, from a political point of view, as I said months ago when this was first rolled out, there are going to be pensioners who either claim the benefit and still die from the cold, or people who are not entitled to the benefit and still die from the cold. And the right-wing media are going to jump on this, and they're going to say that Keir Starmer has killed these people. Honestly, don't know what people were thinking. Maybe there was somebody in the Treasury looking through the books and say, "Oh, we can get rid of this. Remove that line from the ledger." And it would be a politician who will spin it in some way. Don't worry, we'll get rid of it. It would be probably better politically to roll back this policy, to do a U-turn and say we were wrong, because it would take this problem off the table. So then later, if somebody does die from the cold, the Labour government can say it's nothing to do with us. But I can guarantee you the right-wing media will jump on this, and you have political parties like the Conservatives and Reform UK who will be saying, well, if we were in charge, these people would still be alive. Would they? Maybe yes or maybe no. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.